Hey, what's up everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, keeping it local again. I want to be back home to watch the Knicks and the Pistons game. Starts at 5 o'clock, so it's already 2. I also want to do some art, so yeah, man, I figured I'd just do my grocery shopping local, not do the whole Hollywood thing. Although I do want to get to that side of town. I've been coming there less and less frequently lately, getting less and less exercise, but it is what it is, man. Today will be another day where we keep it local. So yeah, man, doing pretty good. No complaining on my end. Got checked into the room pretty well. Got a room I've had before. I had this room I think back in February. It was pretty cool there. And so we starting that process once again. And you know, it's been a good transition. The shower is good. The bed is good. I need to get another blanket for that room. I tried to go down there and get one yesterday after checking in, and they didn't have them dry. I went back down there again. A couple hours later, they still weren't ready, so I let the night go, and it wasn't the most comfortable night. It just wasn't the type of warmth I'm used to. So, and little stuff like that can be fixed real quick, and I ain't complaining at all. So, yeah, man, it's been a good day so far. Got up, did my exercise, did a little more homework on that player that I was telling you guys about last night. Got a little more understanding of him, and I'll pick somebody else tomorrow and then come back with that video tomorrow. I usually try to do it every 2 days, but it just wasn't happening yesterday. I didn't get as much homework done on that player as I needed to yesterday to even be able to speak on him like I'd like to be able to. So that just ain't happening. But I did leave the prediction for the Pistons and the Knicks series available. That should be uploading right now. And yeah, man, feeling pretty good. Well prayed up, well rested. They started working across the street from the window that I have here. Early in the morning, they started banging, and I guess they're redoing that entire liquor store area parking lot. They banging, and they started early too, man. They had to have started probably around 6 something. And they started up with the machines and stuff like that probably about 7:30. So it woke me up a little bit, but I was able to sleep through a lot of it until it just got a little too noisy. But I ain't complaining. They work fast, man. I don't think there's even that much more to do from here. So that's I guess what it is. But yeah, man, got some art done yesterday. I was pretty productive yesterday after getting home. Did art for another playlist and was able to post another one. I thought the art was pretty extensive as it pertains to the CD art. I don't think I've used that much paint before ever doing any CD art, and so it's just a lot more detail to that one. I enjoyed making it. The playlist I think is the CD. I believe it was 558 maybe, 559 maybe, one of those two. Did the art. I thought that half of the pieces I made were really good. The other half were okay. So it was a pretty good art session there. And then a couple hours later, I made another playlist. The CD 460 was complete. It was a hodgepodge of stuff. I didn't put too much thinking into separating music for this particular playlist. I kind of sorted some things out and, you know, just kind of threw some stuff together. I think it came out better than I was expecting it to. But it was just one of those things where I just felt compelled to do it, and so I just put something together. Not as much thought went into that one as most of the time, so we'll see if it doesn't make as much sense or if it don't come together as well. We'll see. I'm not going to be overly surprised, because there's a certain level of intention that I put into separating music that I just did not put into 460. I just didn't. So we'll see how it turns out. But I thought it was a pretty jazzy R&B-ish hip-hop little album. I thought ultimately when making it, it sounded pretty good, so we'll see. But concept-wise, it was not a whole lot to that one. Just a bunch of stuff together. But yeah, man. So that was really good for me. This room is a lot better for art. I was able to you know, get a bit more lighting going, a bit more ambiance for that. So I think I'll be able to get back to making these playlist art pieces at night, because the last couple rooms I've been in, because the way things are set up, you could only really do art in the daytime, but that's not necessarily what it's going to be this go round. And so I'm pretty certain that there'll be more opportunities to do more art in that one. So yeah, feel good about that. And yeah, that's really what's been going on with me. I enjoyed the game last night. San Antonio versus Thunder. That was fun, man. A whole lot of fun watching that game. Wemby is definitely arrived, and they put on a show last night, double overtime. That was one of my favorite non-Laker basketball games of the season. So I'm definitely excited about the conference finals. I think a fly might have committed suicide on my chin here, on my cheek rather. But anyway, that was fun. I enjoyed that. And now, trying to figure out what's next, you know, what we doing next with this next 3-week period. You know, I've asked the Lord to kind of guide me and redirect me, get me on track in some areas where I've been kind of faltering a little bit. And you know, of course, going into the last room, it was all about preparation for the colonoscopy that never happened. So I was a little frustrated about how that went. But I've since gotten over that and feeling good. I had made some bad decisions with some food choices in my last 3-week period in the last room, so I don't want to necessarily be as undisciplined this go around with that. You know, just trying to make good decisions, man. Trying to make good decisions with my health and with my life. You know, obviously the Lakers season is over with, so there ain't as much of that to really consider. But there's still a lot going on with the draft, so we'll be continuing on that process of prepping for that. And I expect that I'm not going to be as busy going forward for the summer, since the basketball season is starting to wind down. So I'm looking forward to being able to pick up my art stuff a little more, pick up my you know, going out and doing these type of therapy sessions on the road again. Hopefully the heat doesn't drive me into the house and away from more exercise, because I really would like to get that going a bit more and get recommitted to all the walking that I had been doing these last 3 years. I've kind of gotten away from over the last 3 months. So yeah, man, that's really what it is. Just another day, re-up on fruit and vegetables and oatmeal, and then get back in the house and continue on my path of trying to be productive artistically and get these playlist art pieces out the way, man. Playlist, like I told you guys in the last video, the playlists are coming more frequently than the art was. So like, even though I had gotten caught up, I had like 5 of them in the tuck, I keep making them. So it's like I get caught up and I'm like, all right, now I'm 3 behind. It's to where I was 2 behind yesterday, then I made another playlist. So it's like, that's just kind of what it is for me. It's just, I'm having a hard time keeping up with the frequency of the playlist, making CD art for all of them, because I've made it up in my mind that I'm not going to just make a CD art after making a playlist. I want to be able to have an art session with every playlist. I made that up. I started that practice maybe 1.5 years ago. Beforehand, I would never be behind, because after I make a playlist, I immediately sit down and make CD art. That's just no longer how I operate. Now it's like I got to be able to listen to it, absorb it while making art. Several pieces need to be made before I even touch a CD. And so when you lock yourself in that way, it's easy to get behind on the CD art. So that's what's been going on with me. But hope everybody's having a good week. Got one of them American holidays coming up next Monday. Is it Labor Day, Memorial Day? I don't remember. One of them's coming up. Hope everybody enjoys that. I really don't. I'm not too locked into American holidays, to be honest with you. Some holidays that celebrate America and stuff like that. I'm not really locked in on that, to be honest with you guys. I listened to all 3 of the Drake albums. 2 out of 3 of them I did not like it. I really didn't, but I thought the main one, Iceman, was pretty solid. But, you know, I think, if I'm being real with you guys, I think I kind of outgrown some of Drake's content conversations, you know what I mean? I just think at this point, I don't care to really hear some of the stuff that he's talking about, if I'm being real. I think that's where we at. And I didn't think I'd get to this level ever. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I used to listen to people say, oh man, I didn't outgrow the content. I'm just like, I don't be listening to these dudes like that anyway. It's like, I just want to hear the music. But at this point in time in my life, some things are just like, all right, I guess I've just been woken up to the understanding of what the intention is behind the people who pay the people that we listen to. And so when I have a keener understanding of their hatred for humanity, and then you hear these same subjects and you just don't receive them the same way, it's not that you think of them any more or any less disgusting. You just understand that they're literally a weapon against your people, a weapon against your prosperity. They're trying to insert suggestions into you that have you moving in ways that benefit them for reasons that at their root come down to them hating you. And so it's like, when I have that in mind, it's hard to receive messages the same way through the music. It's not just as simple as some ignorant person or some shallow person is trying to influence me with their intentions. No, there are people behind them who are trying to influence me and using them as a means of doing so. And it's just received differently now. I look at the propaganda surrounding the promotion of the album, and it's received differently now. And that's really what it is for me. I'm not amused by any of these people anymore. I just think that they represent some of the evil of the world. And they're selfish individuals and will take a bag to push the agenda that harms people. And that's what I see. I don't think Drake is above that. I think it's exactly who he is. I think that's what a lot of these people are. And so when it comes to Drake, I respect that he's made a lot of good music over the years. I respect that he's in a battle for his rights. You know, he's battling the man, so to speak, suing the man, trying to, you know, position himself so that he can kind of have a bit more freedom and potentially get some record-breaking opportunities with his next deal. But at the end of the day, it's really a bunch of self-exhaustion, if I'm being honest with you. They're not trying to give people nothing that's going to make them better. They pushing stuff that works, and what works is what we've been conditioned for, and what we've been conditioned for is mental poison. So as long as someone's willing to push mental poison on us, they'll continue through the success of doing so to exalt them with the fame that ultimately entice them and other people who come behind them to do the same thing for generations to come. It's a poison. It's conditioning of the mind that makes us shallow and self-destructive and ultimately a nuisance to the goodness of the world. I'm not up for going back into the matrix and unlearning that for which has been awoken in my head. I know better. I just know better, and I want better for myself and for my people. So if you're telling me that I'm not supposed to be able to have this, and this because I don't have that amount of money, but you're not telling me how to get to the money, then I understand you're just trying to wave something in my head that makes me feel like feel as if I need to either do things I have no business doing to get that money, or that I need to feel insecure and less than about myself because I don't have it. And I just think that that's poison. That's mental poison that we've all adapted to, and that we press forward amongst people, toward people that are going to self-destruct because of that poison in their head. It's no different than any other propaganda. You keep telling people that Islamic people are so evil and that they're so horrible, and then don't be surprised when two 20-year-olds run into a mosque and shoot up the place. Or just the same, if you're going to run these false flags over and over again, don't be surprised when we see something like this and think it's another one of those. Yes, that mosque, that situation in San Diego, thinking about those individuals that lost their lives. 5 people lost their lives in a mosque yesterday because 2 nut jobs walked in there, decided to off 3 people and then off themselves. As usual, they're never actually alive to answer for their nonsense. They always kill themselves, which I don't know if that's a script or if that's just what to expect from that type of behavior. I really am not understanding that, but it's what always ends up happening. There's never anybody to answer for any of this stuff a lot of times. So prayers out to the people who lost their lives there. I don't know if it's a false flag or not. I don't know. Probably. or a result of all of this propaganda inspiring nut jobs and evil people and to do evil things. Both can be true at the same time in a way, to be honest with you. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird life we're living. It's weird times we're living in, and it's got to stay prayed up close to God. And your head on the swivel when you go anywhere, whether it be a place of prayer or walk into a Target or whatever. You just got to have your head on the swivel. You never know when somebody's going to walk in here with the culture of believing that they need to shoot people for reasons that have to do with God or to do with hating people who worship God a certain way or have to do with some type of ideology that's been pushed upon us racially or stupid stuff like that. Listen about this Chud the Builder character, I just think that's more fluff, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets off for that and is now going to be representing our government afterward. It wouldn't shock me at all. He seems like an industry plant. He came up being racist, goes into a situation where he says things that are going to provoke someone to want to be violent against him. They know what magic words to use against whom. He uses them. That person decides to get violent with him. He shoots that person. And now all of a sudden he's facing 100 years. Watch him get off for it. It's just, it's so controlled. It's so scripted at this point. I'm just not buying none of it, man. I'm not buying it. It's all garbage. It's all fluff, if I'm being honest with you. And it took me 2 weeks to even click on anything that said Chug the whatever the hell his name is. Because I'm like, you're not going to make this stupid person famous, you know? You're not going to put this person in my face as a means of looking at people who look like him and saying, yo, those people hate me and blaming them for everything. I'm not eating the propaganda anymore. You showed me too much of what's under the curtain to keep eating the propaganda. That's what it really comes down to. You showed me too many times where I'm like, okay, it's them behind them, and that's why they're doing this. For me to be looking at him and saying, this is on the surface, it's just what it is. It's not. No, it's somebody behind this person. There's somebody behind this person, and because they're behind that person, there's reason not to trust whatever it is that you see in regards to them. This is a psyop. Just like this Charlie Kirk crap is a psyop. Most of this crap is psyops. And so that's how I think of the Chud, the Butcher, whatever the hell he calls him. It's a psyop, though. He's a psyop. I don't expect for him to do any time at all. I really don't. I don't expect for him to do any time for that. If he does any time, it'll probably be a little bit of time, and he's going to be out more famous than he ever was before, pushing the same agenda for those same people behind the curtain. So a bunch of this stuff is psyops. The hip-hop stuff is psyops. Drake, as soon as you see his album drop, all of a sudden you see all the publications that are usually Zionist run, that are ultimately used a lot of the time to either promote a bunch of nonsense to you or vilify somebody that they collectively agree that they want to see torn down. So if for some reason, for example, Kyrie Irving does something he has no business doing, suddenly it's these same publications telling you about what he did wrong and why you should either be mad at him or something that's going to smear him. Those publications are the same publications that are suddenly telling you all about Drake's album. It's just like, yo, man, I'm over y'all Zionists, bro. I'm over y'all. You showed me too much already. I already seen all the plays. I know all the psychological things y'all do. I've seen everything y'all do twice at this point. So when I see something that looks like what y'all have done, I just know it's you behind it. Just like I say about every other conversation on this channel, talking about these people. They always run the same plays over and over again. Drake, one of theirs. Kirk's, one of theirs. It's constant, man. It's constant. And so anytime you use any of these publications to tell me any damn thing, I'm going to automatically assume that is Zionist, pro-Zionist nonsense that's meant to skewer my mind in one direction or another and ultimately have me doing whatever it is they need me to do. Whatever that is, whatever they need me to do, I'm expecting that whatever they're promoting is supposed to influence me to do that exact thing. They want leverage for their wars. They want people up in arms with one another for public support for certain things. They want people looking at this direction and not that direction so that they can do over there what ultimately you're not paying attention to. They want you mad at other people. They want you mad at people that look like you. They want you behaving in certain stereotypical ways that allow them to leverage, continue to move in the direction that they've been going in. And all these different things are supposed to come together so that they can do whatever they want to whoever they want for as long as they want. It is not deeper than that. They got the money, the leverage, and the power to do it, and they've been doing it for a long time, and a lot of us are not aware of what it is we're looking at, but it is literally that. If they're promoting it, it's because they have some benefit to its being famous or its being popular. They benefit from it. And they want to do something with it. Something. Whether it be to separate you from the desire to find someone that's best for you in your life because you feel like the people that you meet got to have some criteria that ultimately they can never live up to, or that you should never trust anybody ever because everybody they promote to you is expressing that seed of doubt toward you for others. It's so much psychological bullcrap, you guys. And at this point, I just tell people to just find a space of peace and try to purge as much of that out of your life as possible so that you can think independently of the suggestions provided. Because if you're moving like they want you to move, you're going to be lost. So lost that you're a nuisance to really anybody other than those who agree with you. And that is a dangerous place for any one person to be in, despite it being something that's so common in our Western society. We don't care about what's going on outside our circumference, and because of it, we're not prepared for it coming our way. This is what they need you to do. Be so enriched in the idea that it's all about wealth and that you need to be chasing wealth that you forget that bombs destroy buildings that come down on children. You understand what I'm saying? So that when they use those bombs on you on whatever unfaithful day they do, you will be so far removed from the idea that such a thing could ever happen to you, even though it's been going on all over the world for as long as you've been alive. And you're never going to question who did it because they've conditioned you through all these different things to never question them. They've been stealing from you, beating you up, belittling you, conditioning you for all these different things that ultimately bring down your overall spiritual awareness and empathy. And have you thinking that it's necessary to destroy and take and leave imbalance in certain areas, not in others. Look at certain people like they're not very important, while other people you just are above reproach. And all of this just comes together ever so perfectly so that you will just let them do whatever they want to do and not at all think that it makes any sense to do anything but exactly what it is that they've conditioned you to do. I'm sorry, I'm just not rolling with the human training courses going forward. I'm not rolling with the separation tactics going forward. I'm not interested in being angry at people because they look different than me, or assuming that people are angry at me because they're conditioned a certain way. I don't care about any of that anymore at this point in my life. I'm just like, yo, man, how can I get connected to the living God so that he can help me through this fog? And I think that's what I should be telling everybody who follows me. How can you get connected to a living God so that he can help you through the fog of human conditioning, psychological processes that seem to be endless in the Western world, that really wants you to only care about itself, as it continues to do all different types of other stuff with the money that you pay into it. All different types of things that you would never co-sign, that you would never be fine with, that you would never be able to turn a blind eye to. They are doing those exact type of things in places that you are not looking, while you're aspiring to worship the golden calves they place in front of you, and aspire to receive the shiny objects that they put in front of you, and aspire to be better for having those objects and those calves in your life. None of it is any good. None of it's preparing you for what's possible based on just the consistency of their behaviors above us, doing things that destroy societies and people and separate people and have them angry at one another and fighting one another. And you find yourself no better prepared for them doing to you what they've done to so many for so long. And the only thing we need to really be doing is preparing for that disruption of peace that could potentially be coming with their ambitions. So, if we're not looking at things that way, man, I just think that we're going to be caught off guard by some sick realities one day. And you think gas prices going up is the worst thing that can happen. You're not paying attention to what I'm paying attention to in the Middle East. People pulling their kids out from under rubble and walking down the streets with limbs of children and stuff. It's crazy stuff that you just would like to think that you wouldn't even see in your nightmares.
Attention guests.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to tell people, man. Let's absorb all of what it is that's in front of you, appreciate good moments, enjoy your pastimes, but understand that a lot of times those pastimes have been placed in your midst to be inspired by, but they're not really real. They're not real, man. It's a matrix, so to speak. And it's meant for the deterioration of your humanity, the deterioration of your humility, the deterioration of your strength against temptation, the deterioration of your aspirations to be closer to a living God, the deterioration to your aspirations to be a part of a life filled with spiritual goodness and not overpowered with just physical shiny objects and ideals and just things that you can't take with you when you pass away, man. So that's really what it comes down to, man. What are we leaving? We can definitely leave a legacy. I can't take a single coin with me, but I can certainly influence the future with what it is I leave behind. You know what I mean? What's really a legacy, man? Because the people who are above us are trying to leave a legacy of both wealth and influence, man. They want to place their flag wherever they go, and they want to be able to do whatever they want when they get there with above reproach, without anyone holding them accountable, and that's just not feasible for the continuation of humanity. If we continue to allow some people to get away with anything while trying to hold people next to us accountable for everything, you find yourself in a situation where you're not really on top of anything. That's really what it comes down to. But if you're not searching for balance, then you're basically finding confusion. And a lot of unwise decisions are made from within confusion, let me tell you. So if we call ourselves parents, individuals who want to raise villages, individuals who want to raise, our kids in a world that we think is responsible, we got to be able to identify that properly, man. And we can't let people who want to see the world burn condition us to believe that what they want us to think is what's most responsible to teach your kids. Because believe me when I tell you, man, the world is going to change. You got it, bro. The world is going to change, and as it does, you got it, man. Have a great day. As it does, we're going to need to have some inclination that what has been given to us is poisonous and a direct deterrent to us moving forward, being able to raise our children in the most responsible way for what is coming their way, which may not be what we're conditioned for. All this peace and love and happiness. And these people keep using these bombs that they're creating to destroy people. Eventually they're going to come our way. And we're going to have to teach our kids how to survive in that world, not necessarily the one we've been in. Or they're going to be caught off guard by the realities of their circumstances, which is foreseeable if you're paying enough attention to what's going on around us outside of our bubble. So that's really what I got to say, man. I hope that I've helped. I know I get wordy all the time, preachy maybe, but I just feel like the Lord has put a certain truth in my heart, a certain true north in my heart, and a certain understanding that a lot of us are running into walls with what it is we believe. We've been listening to our ancestors tell us to, do certain things that were never meant for our betterment, never meant for theirs. You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. We got to be a bit more preventative and a bit more keen to what's going on around us, and respect the fact that as they were coming up with their solutions, they didn't really have as much of a scope as we do on the world around us. They have as much information on what's being hidden from us and who we can trust and who we can't as we've been provided. And so, the idea is to be responsible ancestors, man. Responsible ancestors. Bdf 44, thank you all for watching. I'm out.